Hi friends, Svava Brooks here. How are you doing? If you're watching the replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hey friends. So what do we do here? We hang out, right? 5 times per week, supporting each other on the healing journey after trauma or abuse. Like I said, my name is Svava Brooks. I'm abuse survivor coach. Hey friend, I'm just saying hello and welcoming the viewers that may be watching when we're not here. So if you'd like to join us live, we'd love to have you and welcome you into the group. We're working our way through my book, Releasing Your Authentic Self, available on Amazon or Kindle. And one day at a time, we're working our way to healing and restoration. So how are you, my friends? How are you doing today? Sue, good to see you. LaDonna, good to have you. How are you guys doing? You doing good? Nice. I was reading some of the sharing in the Facebook group today. Pretty good stuff going on. I know, I'm asking you guys to dig deep. I know. Nice. Good, Sue. Good. Just take some time. Light a candle. I actually had a candle lit here earlier today. Just helps to calm things down a little bit, doesn't it? So it feels like summer is entering here in Portland. I'm wearing a t-shirt. My family is in shorts. I'm not quite ready for that, but I was looking out my window and seeing people walking by in shorts. So summer is coming. Oh, that's nice. Yes. The purring kitty cat helps, and a candle. Yes. I love to have the candles going. Absolutely. Absolutely. So is the snow mostly gone then, Sue, for you where you are? Did you get out on your bike today? Or did I see that you were running around doing some errands? I got my tea. We'll just hang out. See who else joins us, right? But I was like feeling, I had some music earlier, all today in the woods. Oh, you had a walk in the woods. Nice. Good for you. Good for you. It's kind of been of a back-to-back day for me indoors, but I got my yoga in this morning, so that felt good. That felt good. So what I was about to say is that I was kind of tuning into reading your guys' shares in the Facebook group, feeling, yes, that today was a little harder, maybe a little more intense. And I also recognized that there was a little piece there of my personal journey that I shared with some of you that maybe you had not seen or read before or heard me share before. So maybe I'll start by telling you guys a little more about that. And most of you guys who work with me, you know that I will kind of share tidbits, insights here and there from my journey as a little girl, when it perhaps supports the person that I'm working with to understand and to feel they're not alone, right? And that's what I kind of wanted to put out to you guys today. Yes, thank you for the flowers, Sue. I wanted to kind of remind us all, you know, why are we here? It's like, why are we in this space, both here talking about it and in the Facebook group? That we are here, right, to support each other through some of the hard parts. It's these hard parts that have kept us stuck. And I want to just say the hard parts are, you know, sometimes our deepest wounds or the greatest hurt. And sometimes, we can't heal those parts without some form of validation and support. And that's what, you know, my goal is to create a safe place for you guys to share that here as courageously as you can. I know it's a pretty public forum, but I know many of you have, and I see that in the Facebook group too, where you guys are kind of digging deep and kind of bringing more of yourselves forward, understanding why that hurt is still there, right? But just as a question to you guys that are here, what have you found valuable in being here on the scopes? If you could just quickly share for you, what has that meant for you just to be here? Because even though we're having hard conversations, I know that each of you has, you know, you are learning, you're seeing something here that has helped and certainly keeps bringing you guys back, right? Hearing others and not feeling alone, right? Not alone. Huge support, not feeling different, right? Not alone, not like, you know, I'm not so different from other people, right? Not feeling, for so long we felt that our hurt, we were the only one suffering, right? No one else would understand, or this must only be happening to me, right? Because nobody else is talking about it, right? And that kind of fosters and feeds the need for secrecy and kind of the shame, right? So beautiful. Thanks, guys. It's good to remember, right? Every time I show up, exactly. And those are the reasons for the hard feelings. It's not the abuse that was the hard part. It's the feelings and the stories that we created as a result of it, because we were left alone thinking there's something wrong with me. I must be different. I'm the bad one here, right? And I better not speak of this or let anybody in, or I will get, you know, rejected or shamed even more. So yes, we end up feeling a lot alone. So I just want to start off really celebrating you guys for your courage, because it takes courage. It takes so much courage to show up and to be here. And you know, when it's hard, even when it's hard, you know, there's something coming, you know, it's hard because we're seeing some truth. There's like something coming awake inside of you. So, and we've often talked about it here, to get to the good feelings, we kind of have to wade through some of the muck, some of the hard feelings, the things that we haven't, you know, wanted to feel or heal. Mostly, you know, we didn't know how, and we maybe felt like, oh, if I open that door, I won't be able to stop it, or it will be so overwhelming. And I know there's times when it can still feel very overwhelming, but I don't think anybody, I just want to, you know, reflect on, yes, there's been times where I'm like, oh my God, this is going to break my heart. My heart is going to break from this, but it hasn't, and it didn't. If anything, I recognized how strong my heart was and how powerful I could feel. And yes, I could feel all the hurt. And with it, the more I felt my hurt, the more my capacity for love and compassion and kindness, it kind of grew alongside my willingness and my ability to feel the hurt. So I hope that helps and is encouraging. And our attention here is always to learn about love. We are here to develop our love muscle, like, right, going to the gym. Here we're like, okay, what else do I need to learn about love? What else is there possible for me in terms of being kinder to myself, or is there something that I'm missing? Because it's our birthright to be loved and adored and cherished, and we missed out on some of that, and so now we're doing it. Now we're like, yeah, I'm gonna take that on. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, turn over every stone to figure out how I can feel that I know what love feels like, and I know that in my heart of hearts that I am loved. That's my intention here for you guys. So welcome. Hey friend, good to see you. Please say hello and introduce yourself. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay, but we would like to celebrate you for being here. We're glad you're here. So what I wanted to just to touch upon for today, day 65 in the book, right? We're humming along here, right? One page at a time. I'm just going to read the top, and then we'll go into the questions a little bit. And just to know, you can share as much and as little as you want to. No pressure whatsoever. So when I continued to struggle in certain areas of my life, I began to see that they were all connected, right? After a while, it kind of starts to kind of circle or like taper down to this. There's like 3-4 things. The cause was a core wound. Oof, a really big one, right? A negative feeling from a long ago that had wedged itself deep into my subconscious. Like that part, like I didn't know that I didn't know, but I could feel there was something there that I couldn't understand. I couldn't put my finger on it. But I was like, I'm going to focus on being intentional, and I'm going to keep going. So I kept working at it until one day I remembered I had spent the first 7 months of my life in foster care. And that was it. I'll tell you a little more about the story behind it, okay? The crippling fear that I had felt as an infant in foster care had created a core wound that was still very active, very, very deep in my subconscious. And just thinking about myself, going back there, because I don't have very, very many memories as a very young person. I can feel it just behind my eyes now, my tears, because I can see it now in my mind's eye. When I was born, my mom was forced to give me up because she was only 19 years old, and this was not a planned pregnancy. I'm on, my son just popped in. So there was a kind of a scandal to the family. So she was she wasn't allowed to bring me home. So she found an institution near her house that allowed young, or single women to basically place their kids. And so for the first 7 months of my life, I was in this institution where my mother was allowed to come in the morning or at night to feed me. So, and I often think about it. I mean, I've had a very interesting relationship with food, right? You can imagine it's like the only contact I had, probably, because I can't imagine in an institution that I was held very much, that she came to feed me. So the story goes that once my mom was allowed to bring us out of there and take us home, after 7 months, my grandfather kind of broke down. And it's like, okay, you can bring her home. It was like when I was back in my grandma's house living with my mom used to say people love to feed me because I was like a bottomless pit. I would just sit and take in food nonstop. And I've seen pictures of myself as like a 1-year-old, and I was huge. I was like, you know, really overweight. And it made sense, because as long as I'm accepting food, I'm getting attention, I'm getting connection, right? I didn't understand it for a while, because when I saw pictures of myself, I'm like, wow, I was really a big baby. But then it's like, oh, okay, that made sense, right? So, yeah, so I have a memory being in that institution, like being in a crib, and this awareness, like there's dark, and I have this acute knowing, and I can tap into the fears that I'm alone. And no matter how much I cry, no one's gonna hear me. No one's coming, right? And it was almost like there's no use in crying, because no one's coming, right? And so that belief, like no matter what you say or do, no one is going to come, you know, nurture you or nourish you or protect you or pick you up, right? I think maybe sometimes I'm still unraveling the depth of that core belief. Like, wow, if I'm here and no one is going to show up, what does that mean about me, right? So, and I can see how as I grew up, with other things happening in my life later on, and I am actually working on my book. I'm writing my story this year, and I can reflect on this theme, thinking that there was something wrong with me from a very, very early on. Like I somehow was not valuable or good enough. I can feel that. I can feel the heat in my heart just saying that here with you guys. So, yeah, pretty powerful, you know, growing up. And I know I'm not the only one. Thanks, guys. With this knowing, this fear, this belief, I know you guys love me, and I so feel it, and I love you back. You know, times infinity, right? That, you know, and that breaks my heart. It's like I've healed a lot of it, and I'm here now, but looking back and thinking about myself as a little girl, it's like entering life without the knowing that you were loved. I mean, that breaks my heart. That's what really gets me, you know. And I know you guys know me, and so you know why, right? Love is such a big part of who I am today that it's hard to fathom how that was not a part of my beginning journey. So my journey was to reclaim love, right? Since it wasn't freely given to me, not at all. And all the attachment issues, along with not being, you know, held and cared for, and like being in the home of my mom for the first 7 months of my life, I had no idea the impact, how much I had numbed because of it. And this part of my journey, I mean, this was even before any of the abuse started. I had told myself for years, this didn't matter, right? This didn't have any impact on my life, right? I'm here, I'm fine. This was in the past, right? I didn't remember, of course. So, like we talked about yesterday, peeling one layer at a time, right? Yes, exactly. So, and in a way, I feel like I've healed from the sexual trauma, the sexual abuse. I've healed from the physical abuse. I've healed a lot from the emotional abuse. But then this is like the pre-verbal stuff that I feel like, you know, I'm still kind of working on in a way. And this is where I also feel both my meditation and my TRE practice is helping me tremendously, because some of these things I will never be able to put into words. or like, you know, express exactly. It's harder to get at, but I am fully trusting and believing that I will get to this one way or another in this powerful, great universe that we live in, that I will be given an opportunity to heal this. And I know I will be, because it's part of who I am, to transform that sadness and that pain into a deeper understanding of who I am and my capacity to love and to forgive, because that's pretty much, that's who I am. So now you guys know a little bit about that, right? So the question is, my friends, and thank you for listening and for, you know, holding me here, and you're in a safe space with you guys. I mean, this is what the healing support looks like, right? Sometimes I will share things that are really stir my heart, and sometimes it's you guys, right? You're welcome, right? This is a give and take relationship, guys. Isn't that what we've talked about and we practice? Supporting one another. So as I continued onto my healing journey in my life, I needed to kind of pay attention to how and where was this theme, this belief, this devastating belief that I was not maybe even, you know, valuable, that I had just been discarded, right? That I was just, no one wanted me. I wasn't lovable. So where was that reoccurring theme showing up in my life? So the questions that I posed for you guys today was, in what ways have you continued to create relationships with people who emotionally abandon you? And in what ways have you emotionally abandoned your inner child? So let me just say, if you're new to the healing journey and you're just starting some of this, you know, be gentle with yourself. You maybe are just starting to explore the ways that you feel safe to express your feelings. Unfortunately, it's not comfortable or common in our culture that we are supported with having any emotions, like express any of our feelings. So the fact that we maybe are not supporting our inner child right now may be because we are still learning how to express our feelings, right? And that's okay. That's okay. So please be gentle with yourself as you're navigating this journey. But if you look at some of your relationships with people, you know, how do you continue to create relationships or find yourself in a relationship with people that emotionally abandon you, or, you know, are just not supportive of you being the real you, meaning are interested. And Sue, I loved what you shared in our group yesterday about our tribe. It's like how and what we have created, the very thing that we longed for, right, is to be seen and heard, no matter whether it's fun or pretty, like even on our sad days, that it's still a place to go and nobody judges. So I know I've asked this question a few different times in a few different ways lately, but I'm just curious for yourself. In what ways do you continue to create relationships with people who emotionally abandon you? And I can say for myself, some of these relationships are unfortunately the people closest to me. Meaning not my current most intimate family, but the family that I was born into, right? My mom, my stepfather, my siblings, is that it was not okay for me to express my feelings and my truth, because then they were uncomfortable with it. So it's like, yes, you can hang out with us, but you can't really speak about this. And to me, that's not acceptable today. It's like, I don't pretend any longer. Any thoughts, guys? I've cut ties with those people, Adana. Good. My parents only saw the perfect child they wanted, not me, so I lived to try to please. Same with my husband. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. Good. Exactly. Good. Good. That's what we're starting to grow into, right? Seeing that we aren't gonna live this double life anymore, right? Yes, we had to do it before, because our survival depended on it. We didn't have the support system that we have today. We dependent on them in some ways, and we didn't even know perhaps that we had a choice. And again, I hear you, Lajana. My circle is pretty small too. I'd like to say fiercely protective of my most inner circle, because yeah, it's like I don't want trauma in my world anymore. I've worked way too hard to find peace, to have space for play and silly and laughter, and so, but also place, if we have our feelings, no one is made to feel wrong or judged for it, and we work through it. I mean, just last night here with my daughters, one has moved out and one is moving out in less than a week. I'm gonna need some emotional support on Monday, guys, okay? That's when my oldest daughter is moving out. There you go, Sue. Yes, you choose your friends, exactly. And we choose wisely. And sometimes people come into our lives as a test. It's like we get to know them a little bit. It's like, oh, wait a minute. That's not, I'm not interested, right? That's too much trauma, right? Or whatever that person brings in, that in the beginning, perhaps we feel like this could be fun. And then it's like, ooh, nope, I'm backing out of this one. But what I was started to share with you guys just last night. I had a beautiful time with my oldest daughter after Sabrina went home to her apartment. And we sat and cried together, reflecting on how much we love each other and how far we have come together. Now I'm going to start to cry. So, and that I know no matter what happens in her world, that I'm only a phone call away, and she's going to be living in another state, but still an hour and a half on an airplane, we can handle that. She could come home for a weekend. But again, it's that I don't, talking about how we feel and the truth is a priority in my world, in my relationships with my kids. So we talk about how we feel first, because nobody here can hide it. Nope. We can see through that easily and feel that, right? So, yes, LaDonna, exactly. Brilliant. It's beautiful that we have found a way to create that, right? And I can say for sure that even when we feel like our kids are too old, like, I'm not actively teaching my children something anymore like I was when they were younger, supporting them through their developmental stages. But the more I heal my heart and show up for myself in an emotionally supportive way, and I know how to handle and express my feelings in a safe way, and I do that with them too, in a respectful way, it's created a really deep healing, for us, because I know I was not present in my body and able to love them when they were babies. So, but I know I can now, and I know they know that now, even though they maybe doubted that when they were a little bit younger. And they've done their own healing now. So It's all worked out. Any other thoughts, my friends? Any questions and thoughts that you have about this topic today? It's a little quiet with us today. I think Nora had already told us she might not be here because she's very, very busy. I know, no Rob. Yep, he's not here right now. So we're gonna check on him, gonna shoot him a note after the call, see how he's doing. Maybe he got his bike today and he's went for a bike ride. And I know it's not for everybody to be here every single day. I know it can feel like it's a lot, and it's intense conversation. So it's a-okay if somebody says, okay, I'm gonna just bow out tonight. So no worries, no worries. So lastly, just what I wanted to say about, ways that we have emotionally abandoned our inner child. What I recognized that part of my healing journey was to, be intentional about learning how to love myself. And so this part of me that lived inside of me that had all these big feelings, I was a little scared of her in the beginning. Because I could feel that intensity there. So as I was gentle and kind, approaching her, getting to know her, yes, exactly. You never saw, so learning to do it now, exactly. I can so relate, Sue. I can so relate. No one wanted to see me, so I couldn't see me. I didn't know what it felt like to be seen. I didn't know what it felt like to be heard. I didn't know what it felt like, to have my tears and to someone hold me and tell me it was going to be okay. I did not know. So yes, all of a sudden, and it's, my brain wants to go on a whole nother tangent here, but it's like, the piece that we don't see, it's like we can't feel, right? And as we learn to feel it and see it, we connect to it, and then we see what's possible for us, right? And part of it also was on the healing journey, like I know some of you guys are, is to trust your guide, trust maybe someone. In the beginning, I had to trust when someone told me, just keep talking to her, keep connecting with that little girl that is inside of you. My little girl didn't want anything to do with me in the beginning. She, didn't trust me. She was angry with me. She was hurt by me because I had taken so long to come get her, right? And to support her and learn how to love her. So I had to, okay, this is gonna be hard, but hey, sweet girl, I'm here now. I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. It may not be perfect all the time because I don't really know what to do or how to do this, but I'm told that this works, so I'm gonna trust it. And I kept doing that over and over and over and over again. And eventually, I found that she started talking to me, she started trusting me, and I made it safe for her to speak her truth and to let me know how hurt she was. And then she also helped me figure out why I felt bad. What were the core beliefs? Because she was the one she holds those memories, right? Or those lies, those false beliefs, right? Like she felt bad and she thought I didn't love her, that I didn't want her, because that was a belief she took on from infancy. And I was reaffirming that by not showing up. So I was feeding her story that she was not good enough to be loved because I wasn't loving her. And that was the big piece that she keeps bringing back to me. That there's a hurt here. There's a hurt here. And, I can't heal it for my clients, right? I can only support my clients in healing that for themselves. It's like I've told my daughters, I wish I could crawl inside of you and, you know, hug that little baby girl who's so, you know, should have had a mom who just cherished and adored her, and just that you could have felt the warmth and the love just pouring out of her for you. You should have had that. But I couldn't. I didn't know how. I didn't know how. And I have forgiven myself that I didn't know that I didn't know that I didn't know how to do that, right? But I have, you know, modeled for my adult daughters and supported them and getting curious about their hurt inside of them, and get to know that little girl who is hurt. Yes, trust me, LaDonna, I want to save them years of heartache and thousands of dollars of therapy. You know, the emotional intelligence that my kids have, I'm very proud of, because I've empowered them. And yes, Sue, I know it is hard to forgive yourself. But part of forgiving me was acknowledging the truth that I can love me. I will fight, I will go through any piece of shame, any shadow belief that I have that I am somehow bad, and love myself through it, because that's what love is. That's how I healed myself, right? And doing that, like being relentless, is like, yes, I know you think you should be ashamed of yourself, like that you should never show your face, or you should never expect this. But you know what? I know better. You're a good person. I know why you did this, and I know why, and I understand, and I'm not going to give up on you, right? That kind of relentlessness towards myself and my little girl is what finally got her to believe me, right? And it's like our kids, just like our inner child, doesn't just believe our words. It's like it has to see and feel that action is taken. And that's what our inner child feels when we feel our feelings. So when we are bawling our eyes out and just really like feeling that heartache, yes, not giving up on yourselves. Yes, I am relentless, LaDonna. I've often been called that. I used to like think it was a bad thing, but no. I'm relentless in a good way. And so yes, Sue, to tell your little girl, no matter what you say or do, here she is. Baby girl, no matter what you say or do, I will never give up on you. I will never stop loving you. Yes, me too. Called stubborn. Of course you were stubborn. Are you kidding me? Of course I was relentless. I was walking around thinking I wasn't lovable. I'm glad I was relentless. I'm glad you were stubborn. Because inside of you, there was outrage. As children, we are outraged that we aren't getting our needs met. Exactly. How could you not be? But we soon learn to put a lid on it, right? Because we will get in trouble if we speak up, if we dare to ask for what we need. She's no dummy. I'll get hurt, either physically or emotionally, if I speak up. So, right? Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Teeny tiny little baby. Aww. That's so sweet. She's adorable, isn't she? That's so sweet. That's so sweet. She's so lucky to have you, and I know you're lucky to have her. it goes both ways. You're lucky to have her, and she's lucky to have you. So, yeah, my children have been my greatest teachers. They have. They have. Yes. Yes, and you are. You are doing lots and lots right. Way more than you think you are. And that's what I said in the Facebook group earlier. Yes, exactly. Those little arms around our necks, right? Very sweet. So precious. So, so precious. So we are all work in progress, my friend. Oh, beautiful hearts. Thank you for the hearts. But again, I wanted to thank you for showing up for these hard conversations. This is the stuff that people don't talk about very much, right? But we got to talk about it to understand it. And as you guys know, I'm relentless and on a mission to help you all normalize this conversation, to help normalize, talk about our feelings, talk about what we need, talk about what we like, and talk about what we don't like, and to recognize, like we have in the Facebook group and you guys' support and sharing there a lot, is, you know, we are so in this together, right? So many of our struggles are the same. They're same themes, they're the same patterns. Exactly. Yep. And that's why, you know, I believe that, you know, life is our school and love is always, always, always the lesson. Always. We're always learning about love. Love for ourselves and love for our fellow human beings. Isn't it? Yes, I love to see how things kind of unfold as people share. And even here, sometimes with you guys, I'm sometimes just surprised what comes out. So, and this is how we are really experiencing love. We are co-creating out of love. And like this is, you know, what heals us individually. This heals our families. This heals our communities. This heals our planet. Is to remember that even though I'm an unique individual in this unique body, that we are so connected on a very, very deep level, and we feel the same way, we hurt the same way. Many of our needs are very similar. It's just things, you know, how we express things are a little bit different. And that's, again, kind of the gift in all of this. The more we learn to see ourselves, right, really see the truth, seeing ourselves in the mirror, seeing ourselves because we weren't seen, and we fall in love with what we see, then we start to see other people. All of a sudden we start to see, wow, I see all these people and I see myself in everyone. Everyone. I don't care if you're male or female or color of your skin or where you're from or privilege or not. We're all the same. Yes. So to sum up today, guys, sometimes those reoccurring patterns in our lives, you know, sometimes we have to dig a little deeper. If you're new to the healing journey, just start with where you're at, right? And that's often why I talk about, we don't intentionally go to dig out the past. Healing journey is about focus on the present and moving forward and just deal with the past as it's showing up today. There's no need to like go hash over digging up memories or whatever from the past. We have plenty just right here, right now. Like it shows up in our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with other people. It shows up in our ability to take care of ourselves, how we nurture ourselves, our self-care, right? The past continues to show up, and why? It's not because we're bad or broken or stupid, right? Like I thought I was stupid for most of my life because my stepfather had drilled into my head that I was stupid. And so understanding that I'm just, you know, a textbook example of a grown person that was terribly abused as a child. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just having to grow up again, figuring out a way to reparent myself now that I can't rely on my parents, right? I need to, how can I help myself now to get those needs met that I was not given as a little girl, the birthright. And yes, I'm going to be relentless in fighting for my birthright. And I will support any one of you on that journey if you're willing and interested. I won't force anybody. Not at all, of course. Not my journey, your journey. But I will support you every step of the way because we got this. We got this. So that's it for today, my friends. And I just quickly want to remind you, and I will put it up in the group later, tomorrow, Wednesday, we are starting a half hour earlier because I forgot to remind you guys yesterday that tomorrow is my weekly class. I have once a month this class with my group, and it starts, you know, earlier into the evening. So in order for me to be here, I need to be here at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time tomorrow for our chat. So make a note of that, please. And any comments or questions, guys, before we sign off this evening? How are you guys feeling in your hearts? Thanks for listening to my story earlier. I know, Sue, it's better for you even. So thanks for the love and support earlier. Hey, friend, thanks for popping in here. And again, if you're here watching the replay, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you, LaDonna. I am so grateful for you too. I am. And I appreciate your gratitude. Thank you. I can feel the warmth in my heart. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Good, Sue. Glad to hear it, my friend. Glad to hear it. I'm glad you reached out. I'm here for you. Some days we just need a little extra support. And again, each time we do ask for that support, it's a declaration. Like, I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm asking for support because I believe I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna, right? And it's like you're breaking this isolation cycle of trauma when we reach out for support. So, good job, my friends. Not giving up. God darn it, Sue. No, we're not giving up. You're doing a beautiful job. All of you guys. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for being you. Thanks for playing. And guys, did you see the t-shirt that Nora made for us? You guys were so sweet yesterday. That chat I saw in the group about our gang and supporting and loving each other and coming up with a t-shirt together. It was beautiful. I was showing my family, and you should hear the aw. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will have the feeling we will definitely have t-shirts one day. So Nora, if you watch this replay, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I know how busy you are, but we all got a chuckle out of it, and it certainly warmed my heart inside and out. It was beautiful. Thank you. All right, guys, and I'm gonna go send. We missed a couple of friends tonight. I'm gonna go send some Facebook messages and check on people just to make sure they're okay. All right, guys. Night. See you tomorrow. Good night, Sue. Bye, LaDonna.